What's up, guys? This is Tommy Ricks of TR Productions and Prolific Sounds. First and foremost, I just wanted to say I hope you guys are staying safe. And, this pandemic thing is really bad out there. And, we have to not only protect ourselves, but protect our friends and family as well. So please, wear your mask, you know, uh, you know, stay safe. That's all I can say. And I want to give a shout out to all those frontline, workers out there who are out there risking their lives to save um, our people and the people of this world. I just want to say thank you. Um, I just want to get right into it. I said I was going to make a video, and basically this video is for the beginner producer, the person who has ideas and wants to put it down and doesn't really know how to go about doing so. One of the things I want to tell you that creating a recording studio can, if you have the finances, of course, you'll go out and buy all the equipment that you need. But it's a really simple and basic process, and I'm going to show you guys how you can get started with minimal budget and where you can get the ball rolling, and for a couple $100, you can start your journey on your music career. All right. So first of all, I want to tell you that one of the first and foremost things that you're going to need is a good computer. The reason why is because all depends on what type of music that you have or you're going to be producing. There are going to be plugins in your DAW, and your DAW is just software or the machine that you use to produce or whatever the case may be. There are going to be a lot of plugins in those DAWs that's going to require a lot of processing power, a lot of memory, and you want it to be as efficient as possible. So, you want to consider, how much memory you have, what kind of storage you're using, and one of the things that I have to say, in starting off, do not go short in that. The better your computer is, the better you're going to find yourself being able to process the information quicker and faster. There won't be too much freezing, no audio glitches or anything. So you better have a good computer. I would say start off with something with an i5 quad core processor, something of the latest edition, something maybe that might have been created in 2018, 2019, and 2020, or definitely this year. If you don't go to Intel, use AMD Ryzen. Uh, you can start with a Ryzen 5, but I would probably go with a Ryzen 7 or a Ryzen 9 if you can afford it. And if you can custom make the computer, it's even better. That's what we do. We custom made our own computers. I wear many hats. I don't only do TR Productions and Prolific Sounds. I also have A Plus Computers, which is right downstairs. So that's what we do on a day-to-day basis. So I pretty much created my own computer. You're probably going to have to invest into that, or if you have the money to buy a decent computer, you definitely want to have that. Not to say that you can't get started with something minimal, but as you see and as time progresses and you start putting those plugins, you're going to see that not having a good computer is going to be a deficit. It's never going to be anything that's going to help you, and you're going to wind up investing into it anyway. So if you can start off, with a good computer, any Mac will do. Preferably any Mac, let's say after 2016, will work. Macs are designed to handle media and usually has enough memory and so forth. You might want to buy an external hard drive to store all your songs and all your WAV files and so forth, but getting a Mac will definitely work. And if you're going to build your computer, you definitely want to use a decent sized tower, nothing too small, because you want good airflow. And you want to make sure everything inside that computer is being kept cool. Because as you do music, things will heat up really fast. And if your computer gets hot, what's going to do as a safety mechanism, it's going to shut itself down. And you don't want that during a recording session. It's the most intimidating, most embarrassing thing that can happen at a time of a recording studio. So you definitely want to make sure you invest into a good computer. Okay, let's talk about music equipment. Most people think that you have to start off with all this major stuff to get started. Not true. Basically, what you want to have is a DAW like FL Studios or Pro Tools. Some people use Cakewalk, Reason. Industry standards is pretty much FL Studios and Pro Tools. People who are on Macs, they might use GarageBand or they might use, oh gosh, what's the name of it? Um, Starts with an L. I don't know. I can't remember it right now. But you definitely want to get a DAW, where you're going to now put those sounds at and you're going to create your music on. That's going to be your platform. I have two DAWs. I used Akai, which is Akai Pro Black series, and has the beat pads here where you can make your beats. This is a little expensive, for starting off, you might not want to get this if you can't afford it. They run around maybe 300, 400 bucks. Brand new, they're about maybe five, but you can get them on eBay for 300 or 400 bucks. That's one, and of course I have FL Studio, which is in my recording studio or my computer. As far as beats, like I said, I have the Kai Professional Black Pro, and I could do my beats there. But if I'm using FL Studio, unfortunately, I cannot use that beat machine. So what I do, I have the Kai Fire, which is designed for FL Studios, where you can use it as a keyboard. You can also use it as a beat machine, and there are so many different fun features about this thing, which we will go over later on. I'm actually still learning this. But if you can't afford, and this is only about $100, guys. So once you have your computer, your DAW, and you have one of these, or you can have a little mini keyboard like this. Of course, I have a bigger keyboard. It's the Kai Professional Advanced 49, and I'll show you that. But this keyboard here, I've made about 10 to 15 songs with this little keyboard. And you'd be surprised, what this thing can do. And if you just take time and have patience, you'll be able to create great music with just this little keyboard. And they run about maybe brand new, I say maybe 75 bucks, maybe 100. Same with this brand new, it's about 110, 115. Again, I have also the Akai Advance, which is a little bit more expensive. This runs about maybe 500, 600 bucks. Or you can get it on eBay if you really look for it for maybe 300 some change. And this also has pads and all types of modules and octave changes and all types of features. And it comes with great software too. So you might want to consider that if you can afford it. Right, with all that being said, now it's connecting all these things together. I have an audio interface made by Focusrite because you're going to need something to dedicate all this music to. You're going to need something also to set your microphones, your speakers, and so forth too. And this is a Focusrite Starlink, and I'll show you how that works. It's an audio interface, and this is something you're definitely going to need. And when I first started out, I thought I had to go out and buy everything brand new. No. Sometimes you can save some money if you just take the time and just go on eBay or look for, huge discounts that they have. And when I purchased this, I paid probably 200 and change. And about 2-3 weeks later, I could kick myself in the butt because I saw it on eBay for $125. So, there are different ways of saving money when you're starting this process. And until you start making money, you really don't want to invest too much. And the reason why I say that is because you might find that this is not for you, or your creativity might not be what you thought it was, or you just get uninterested in doing this. Me, I love music, so I went all out, and I had the extra money, so I did it. But yeah, this is only about $125 on eBay. And this is going to connect your drum machine. It's going to connect your microphones, your speakers. I also have a Presonus control center, which is not really necessary because I have a sound booth and behind me, and I have mixer and so forth. So I need a controller just to control that. That's something that's not necessary for the beginner. Really, it's not, because you're only going to be doing producing, and when you even set up to do vocals, you don't have to have a sound room or a sound booth. You can just get some eggshell, egg crate, egg carton crates or whatever they call them, or if you can get some soundproofing inside the room that you have, and try to get it as quiet as possible. Because your DAW will be able to get rid of some of the other sounds or some of the unneeded sounds or unwanted sounds in the mix. But right now, you don't really need to have a sound booth to do your recordings. The sound booth helps because it's really, really quiet in there. And of course, the acoustics are good. And of course, we got soundproofing and all that stuff in there. So when we do recordings, we don't hear anything but the vocalist or the artist that's playing his or her instrument. Okay. Okay, let's get that back in here, set up. Now, I can give you a quick tour of the studio, but I don't think that's really necessary. Basically, this video is mainly to show you what you need in order to get started in music production. I started, doing music from when I was about maybe, I guess maybe around 18, 19. I started singing on stage, and I formed a group, and I think I was a little bit ahead of my time at the time, and I'm glad I didn't really make it, because I probably would have got myself in a lot of trouble. But I wish I knew then what I know now. And that being said, I would have probably created my own studio. I wouldn't have wasted so much money spending on other people creating things for me. And one thing that's great for you beginners out there, you don't really have to be musically inclined. You do have to have an ear, and you have to understand math a little bit, because things are done in bars, usually in sets of fours, 4, 8, 16 bars. There are a couple of things that you're going to need to know in order to make your song sound like a song, and that's pretty much one, a good ear, understanding what bars are, understanding what mixing is, understanding what tracking out is. To make your song fit the vocalist, you have to track it out or sequence it out. So there's a lot of things that's entailed, but here at TR Productions, we're going to show you that. Or, of course, there's YouTube with so many tutorials on how to do certain things. And if you have any questions or comments, just hit that subscribe button and leave me a comment, and I'll try to respond to you as soon as possible. And definitely like us if you do, and if you don't, I'm sorry. This is all new to me as far as doing videos and stuff. I'm not really that guy, but I'm willing to do this because I know how important it is, to, create, some type of audience. And also, too, I'm here just to help other people as well, not just, just to do a video. I know there are some aspiring musicians out there who would like to be able to create songs or rap tracks or for themselves or for others, and may not know how to get started or realize, it's not as expensive as you think it is. And there's plenty of ways to monetize, your craft. There you will find out a lot of people are making more money making beats than some of the artists that are out there. So you definitely have an opportunity here if this is something that you want to do. And hopefully at A+, sorry, that's the other hat. Hopefully here at TR Production and Prolific Sound, we can show you how to do that. Okay? So now you're going to connect all your devices. Again, your drum machine, your keyboard, your any type of ancillary device will probably be connected to your computer. So you want to make sure you have good USB ports or open USB ports for your drum machine, for your keyboard, and any other USB device or instrument that might be required. Your Focusrite or your audio interface is going to connect to your computer via USB. You may need a USB hub in case you don't have enough ports, and those generally you can find at on Amazon, any music store, Sam Ash. Well, I don't know if Sam Ash would have it, but Micro Center, Staples. It's just a hub that fits into one USB port that allows you 4 or 5 or 6 more. Okay, keep in mind a good computer is going to allow you to process that information really well. So if you have a crappy computer and you have 6 things going into your USB port, pulling out as much memory and processing as possible, you're going to find yourself working really slow. You're going to get really frustrated. So again, I have to reiterate, having a good computer is essential. Everything else, not so much. Again, 30, 40 bucks, brand new, 80. Here we go again, 75 to 125 bucks, 125 being new, and of course your computer. And now you can get started. Now that you have everything hooked up, and if you have any questions on how to hook up your equipment, please, again, shoot me a comment down below, and I will try to respond to you as soon as possible. Put on those notifications so anytime I make a video, you'll be the first to see it, if you like. Okay, so now you have your equipment set up, okay? A microphone is not really necessary right now. You're going to need one if you are going to want to do vocals, and if you want to have other people doing vocals. A good quality mic is very good. You don't have to get one like this. This is a pretty expensive mic. It mimics other mics. It's about an $800 mic, but a good condensed mic will work fine. So I wouldn't say USB. I would probably get something that's powered. Either an XLR or whatever. I wouldn't do a USB mic. I just don't feel confident in those for recording. But now that you have everything connected, you're going to open up your DAW, and you're going to need another few pieces of software, and they're called VSTs. And VSTs are sounds, sound banks. There are also platforms like Nexus 3, Omnisphere, and I'm going to give you guys in the link below the best VSTs for trap music, the best VSTs for EDM or dance or deep house, the best VSTs for drill music, and so on and so forth. And again, if there's any questions or comments that you have, please just leave them below and I'll try to respond to you as soon as possible. But one of the things about VSTs, they can be quite expensive. The Nexus 3 VST, which has awesome sounds for almost any type of music, will run you about 200 bucks. Massive is another VST around the same price. Silence is around the same price. Then they have bundles, like the Korg bundle. That one could run you about 500, 600 bucks. Those things can get quite expensive. But if you can't afford these platforms and these different VSTs, you might want to look into Splice. That's SP, that's P as in Paul, LICE, Splice. With a Splice subscription, you can now rent these different platforms and utilize them in your beat making. I find Splice to be essential because sometimes, because I'm not a keyboardist, I'm not a trained keyboardist. I have a very good ear for music, but I don't, I didn't go to school to learn music. I went to school for computers. But one thing about Splice, it offers platforms that you can rent, VSTs that you can rent, like Serum, again, Massive, Nexus. Well, I don't know if they have Nexus, but they have quite a few. And they have sample banks, sound banks up the gazoo to inspire you, to help you in your production process. I had Splice in the very beginning, didn't know what it was for about a year, paid for it for a year, didn't use it, and now I find myself needing other sounds, and I can't really afford some of the VSTs that I really want right now. So Splice has become the greatest thing since cooked food. I am so glad that one of my fellow friends and producer introduced me to Splice because I was running out of sounds for the Akai Black, because Akai offers you but so much, and there's a lot of sounds that you can go through. But for what I was looking for, I wanted something more. And one thing about Splice, if you could be in one of those moods where you just don't feel like doing anything, or you're just not inspired, you can't find your creativity, you can go on Splice, and because there's so many various sounds, you will be inspired. I mean, it will really take you to a different level. So I would say if you can't afford these VSTs, or these different music platforms to incorporate into your DAW, Splice. Go to Splice and get Splice for $19 a month. Well, they have plans starting at $7.99, but if you want to be able to download those samples and create your own sound banks and packages, I would probably go for the higher plan because it's almost like unlimited downloads, or you wouldn't be able to download that many samples and one shots and loops in a month. So for $20 a month, it's well worth it. But that's really up to you. You can go to www.splice.com and sign up. I think they give you a 14-day trial. So when you get your stuff, and even prior to you getting your stuff, you can go on to Splice and start creating your, folders with all your sound banks. So when you get everything up and running, you start learning FL Studio, you start learning your DAW or Pro Tools or whatever it is that you're doing, you'll have your sound ready. So I would definitely say, Splice is the way to go. Okay. Lastly, which is mostly important. Well, no, I don't want to say mostly important. How are we going to hear all this stuff? You don't want little computer speakers because they're not going to really do anything for you. Basically, what you want to do is you want to invest into non-speakers, but monitors. I'm going to see if I can do this really quick and show you what one of my monitors look like without hopefully breaking it. Give me a sec. Here we go. These are the PreSonus 3-inch monitors, and these little bad boys can kick. Let me see if I can play something real quick. Oh, maybe see if I can play something on Splice. Now that's a bass line I found on Splice. So think about it. If you're not a good keyboardist and you don't really have, that education of, music theory, and Splice is going to be able to help you a lot. And you hear the sound quality of that? It's pretty much mixed already. So they have good presets and samples up to gazoo. Invest. These are the 3-inch PreSonus monitors. Kind of pricey, but you can get some M Audios for about $100. Or again, eBay. Yeah, you can get them from eBay, or some monitors from eBay, for about, $100, $150. You want to definitely have something good, because the better your sound quality, the better your sound is going to be, right? Okay, let me just put these back. And I have also a 10-inch subwoofer. Now, subwoofers are not necessary. Me, I put them in the studio because most of the artists that I work with are, rappers or R&B singers or EDM singers, and they love to hear that bass of the song after it's done. You could use good headphones. I have some Beats that I use, or you can use something like, if you get your focus right or your audio interface, some of them have bundle packages and they come with a microphone and headphones. These came with my audio interface. So, I mean, you don't really need to have monitors per se to get started, because you can always use these. But you're gonna want you're gonna want those monitors. You're gonna want a good subwoofer for playing the music back for your audience or for whoever's in the studio. Okay, so I would definitely suggest in getting some decent monitors. Again, if you have the money, invest into yourself. You're going to be glad you did, because if you have the money, make the smart investments now so you don't have to do it later. Okay, one of the reasons why I'm making this video is because some of my mistakes were rushing too fast, trying to get the best of the best, and not realizing that there were still baby steps that I needed to take, and there were other avenues I could have taken and saved money, but because I guess I had it at the time, and I just wanted it like a crackhead or something. I just gotta have it right now. I ordered it brand new, and I probably would have saved about at least 35 to 40% on everything if I would have just been a little bit more patient and shopped around. So don't feel like you have to rush to get this equipment. Shop around. Again, if you have any questions on, or you need any assistance in trying to get some of these things, just hit me up, okay? And I will try to respond to you as soon as possible. So now we have everything we need. We have our speakers, we have our audio interface, we have our keyboard, we have our beat machine if we want to use. Now it's time to start making music. I'm not going to do that here in this video. Basically, this video was just to tell you what is needed or how easy it is to get started. I hope that you guys have gotten some information. If there are, again, any questions or things that you didn't understand, please hit me up down below and I'll try to respond to you as soon as possible. I wish I could leave my cell, but I don't want those type of texts and calls. So, I mean, I love you guys, but not like that. Anyway, it's time for me to sign off. I got to get to producing. I haven't been in the studio. I've been so busy working with the computer stuff. I haven't really had time to really do anything, but today is the day that I feel inspired to make something beautiful. And, I hope that you guys got something out of this. And, I mean, it doesn't really take a lot of money. I would say outside of the good computer, $400 could definitely easily get you started running. And a subscription to Splice for your sounds. Again, if you have the money, I will show you how to invest into other things that are a little bit more unique. But to get started, these are the only things you need to get started. So I hope this has been informative, and I guess I'll see you at the next time or next video. You guys be safe, stay safe, and be blessed. Take care, and have a great day. Bye.